Hey everyone, this is Ryan B with Practical Forex Trading, and this is your weekly analysis for the pound dollar. So the Great British Pound versus the US dollar. Today's date is April 5th, 2020. If you want to stay up to date with all of our videos, make sure you click that red subscribe button at the bottom right hand corner of your screen. Okay, I got my pivot points loaded and ready to go. We're going to map these out in just a second, but let's look at the overall sentiment. I'm bearish on the pound dollar. The reason being, a number of reasons. Dollar is super strong. We see price action for the pound dollar close above this resistance zone right here around the $1.25 mark. So we saw price last week, really kind of bouncing around, testing it, a lot of sell-off, then strong bearish candle on Friday. That's fairly bearish. It looks like price is about to move through and below the fast-moving average. We might see a little buoyancy as the week starts, but then I imagine we'll see the sell-off continue. If we look back, this is really this descending wedge of price action. It goes back to about 2015, and price came, the pound's very erratic, came below, worked back above, then shot below, but essentially still kind of honoring this, right? Price was in this horizontal zone for a few years. Now we had a big breakout. Here's the big retrace, and now the sell-off continues. So definitely bearish on the pound. Let's go ahead and put in our weeklies. Weekly pivot 120. I'm gonna go ahead and zoom in the 4-hour. Actually, seems to work pretty good. Okay. So we've got our weekly pivot at 123.17. So right here. So great chance we will see price visit the pivot. It typically does. It seems to be kind of price just averaging out and making its initial kickback for the week. So that's our pivot. Let's talk about R1, 24.28. So I had this kind of just rough guesstimate line mapped out, and it's fairly accurate. So right there, that makes sense. We saw our 3 tested highs, right? Price had rallied 3 times around this mark and failed. So now that's resistance, R1, 24.28. Okay. R2, 125.87. So here we go. A lot of congestion. We think about support and resistance, right? So R1 and R2 within just 150 pips of each other. That's not a lot for the pound. And I really think that has to do with this descending price channel over time. All right, the 3 recent tested highs. There's a lot of selling orders sitting here, aka stop loss limits, right? So there's a lot of selling pressure going on, which really supports that bearish sentiment. R3, if price were to break above 128.57, so that puts it right about in the middle of, right, these two, look at that, that's pretty equidistant. That typically works out. We see that price channels are often equidistant, which makes it a little bit easier to map out. Okay, so that's the bullish scenario if price were to go up, and if the pound were to get some strong numbers and shoot up. S1 the other way, 21.58. So that's our sell-off. If we see the sell-off continues, we're going to see our first support at 21.58. Now what will happen is if price goes down to the S1 is that it'll test it more than one time, right? So if you look at something like the hourly, price will come down. It's not going to shoot right through. It's always going to have some buoyancy for a certain amount of time before it then continues to decline. So expect that, and don't be surprised. That's really why you want to sell the highest points. So those little bumps, while it's trying to go, push through, you can just sit back and watch. 2056 at S2, okay. There we go. That seems pretty likely. I could see that happening. Now, beyond that, the next big sell-off, S3, would be at 1776, way down here, which is possible, but we have to see, selling really resume to kick back in to force that kind of price action. Um, Sometimes you think about if you look at the space and how long it takes to fill it. This is a 4-hour chart, so you get 30 candles in a week. Will we see the next 30 go all the way down to S3? I don't know. I think kind of a low probability, but we'll see. I definitely think we'll see some selling this week. All right, well, I wish everyone a very profitable trading week. Hope you make lots of pips. Stay safe out there.